Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. I'm Jennings Bernard, your host. As always, you can catch me right here each and every day, Monday through Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. or whenever I am available. You know what we do here. We talk business, legal, social, but most of all, we talk politics. Politics is everything, and everything is politics. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in. We really do appreciate you. If I have any problem today with this software that we've been working on, please forgive me, and we're going to get it right. We're going to see how far it take us today in our conversation. Hey, we live in Memphis, Tennessee. Well, if we can't control it by way of leadership, God always has the way of controlling the violence in this city. This snow have kept people in, and they wasn't able to get out here and do what they do that make Memphis the most violent city in America. Oh yeah, we have not lost that ranking. That ranking is still upon us. And if I was in leadership, if I walked around here with my chest out, my shoulders back, and my head up, and lying to the people, I would just be ashamed of myself. And you look at this situation, and some of you out there are upholding the lies, the cheating, the stealing, and believe that we have great leadership in this city. I'm going to always talk about the poor leadership because I care about this city. I care about you. And we can't say that much about the leadership that we have in this city. Yeah, I jump right in and talk about this leadership because when I look around this city and the condition that this city is in, and you call yourself leader in the capacity of leadership, you're not leaders. You just people that are getting over on the people. That's all. When the people are in this city starving, when these people in this city are homeless, when these people in this city can't get their roads and other things fixed, you are lying and you're cheating the people if you are in leadership. When you go out and do other things that do not benefit the people of this city, but it benefits big business, you are cheating the people. But this is an opportunity, and I make this promise to you that if this thing don't get right in this election, from the school board to the city council, to whatever position that is running in here, it's going to be come back on this air after the election and say to you, you don't give a hoot about yourself. If you fail again to put proper people in the position, you fail for the hook, line, and sinker. And it won't be nobody's fault, anybody's fault, but yours. And you need to wake up. And I told you, I'm giving you the opportunity to organize your family. If you organize your family, then and only then can we move forward with better days, better situation, and a better city. You are the reason that your city are electing poor leaders, and these leaders don't have you in mind. They have themselves in mind. They have the position, the power, and the attitude that they are something special. But they're nothing. They're not even what the little bird left on the limb when it comes to your city, the city that we love, the city that we appreciate, and the city that we call Memphis, Tennessee. And we are a laughing, joke running throughout the country in this city. It will not get better until you do better, until you wake up and say, hey, enough is enough. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. All of these things that the civil rights workers who sat back and watched how this situation was in America for black folks, they said that we are sick and tired of being sick and tired. They said, let's do a peaceful protest. Don't spend your money. We're going to protest against the situations that are happening in this community. Now, keep in mind, I'm sorry for anyone that lose their life in this city or this country. But think about the countless of lives that were lost during the civil rights movement simply because we wanted justice, equal fairness. And a lot of people lost their lives. And I'm sympathetic to the people who are lost their lives. But I have to go back for a minute and just think about the people that lost their lives, just wanted to be free, just wanted to have the opportunity as a decent and a human being, but it was denied to them. And I say to you that there's no difference from Jim Crow now to the Jim Crows that you elect into office. Jim Crow didn't want you to have this, that, or the other back then when Jim Crow was alive and well. But I say to you today that Jim Crow is still alive and well, the mentality of Jim Crow. And it's being used against you by your own elected black people. That's right. When they do other things for business and don't do anything for you, ladies and gentlemen, that's a mentality of Jim Crowism because these individuals are now using the same method, but using it to hoodwink you and to bamboozle you, to run amok over you, knowing that you're not going to get up and go to the polls and vote them out. That was the old cliche when I was running back. They said once you get elected and you're in, unless you do something mighty bad. And that has been proven time and time again. Because when you elect the same tired, lazy, good for nothing black individuals in your community, and your community look like it's in shambles, but you go along. And in my words, you just saying to those individuals in charge, as the ancestors used to say, to just to please the master. We turn around and get individuals who are pleasing the power brokers and using them to manipulate you, to get you to go to polls through their contributions, because they bought our leadership through contributions, and all of them run on contributions. They get that money and they get in, they hoodwink you into doing what the powers that be want them to do. And I'm sick and tired of sick and tired being sick and tired of sitting back and watching this community go downhill. Other parts of Memphis are thriving. They're getting the thing that their tax dollars, said that they should get. But only in the north and south Memphis are we not getting our tax dollars. If you can fix up East Memphis and other parts of Memphis, why not fix up South and East Memphis? I can tell you why, because you do not ask for it. You do not tell them what you want, so therefore they can do what they want to do. But it should be a new day, because if it's not, I will spread the word that Memphis and the black community deserve what it gets, because they did not do the right thing. That school board need to have new people on it. If there are not new people on that board, then it's your fault. You seen what happened when you had a superintendent that was moving in the right direction to turn the city around. And those individuals who was bought, paid for, and they followed the master wishes, and they voted her out of office. Why? Because she was doing the checks and the balances. She was looking and seeing why people are being paid and given contracts. And what they were supposed to be doing was never done. So now she calling them and holding them in check. And this is what they do. This is what they did to her, Dr. Marie Fagan. And I will stand with her and by her and hope that you wake up and understand whatever the state does, if they take it over, you gave them the rope to hang yourself because you put people in office that are really clowns and you defend clowns. I've never understood that for the life of me, that we reward people in our community on bad behavior. Now, if anybody else, if your children, if your friends, or whoever did something to you that was bad, either you stop fooling with them or you stop talking to them, you address their bad behavior. But only in Memphis and the community that we live in that we do not address the bad behavior of our elected officials that look like you and I. We don't address that. We just let them slide. And from week to week, day to day, I'm sick and tired of sitting here on the weekend and listening to these people on these news shows. And they put the lies and all of these things out, and you sit there and listen to them and don't say nothing. I wish that these news shows would take some calls from the public. I know the narrator, he narrates and he asks a question, and he listens to what they have to say, and it goes over the airways, and the people hear this and they believe this. You know, I say immediately when they go to talking, I say, you're a liar. This is the reason that I say that you're a liar. The cause of the things that you are saying in regard to, we don't need the National Guards here. The National Guards are not doing anything to actually help. I hear this foolishness. I hear this foolishness. You think about it. Miss So and so who lost her son to the chaos and violence in this city. And because the National Guard came here and made all of these arrests, found all of these children, I bet you Miss So and so would say, if they was only here, maybe my son, maybe my daughter would be alive. But we sit here and listen and say people. We even go with the stupidity of Lee Harris and all of them individuals that jumped on a lawsuit to want to sue Governor Lee for providing National Guards and state troopers in here. See, they clowns. They are clowns. Every one of them that signed on to that petition needs to be voted out of office. But you ain't going to do that because they got you hook, line, and sinker. They got you and they got you dangling on that line, and you just gonna go along to get along because you heard them and you heard what they said and you believe it. Until we start thinking, that's the thinker there. Until we start thinking for ourselves and stop being pulled around like a bull with a nose ring in his nose and leading him around. And that's what your politicians in this community are doing to the black people in this community. Economically, the black people are losing money to everybody else who open up businesses. in this community where we could thrive in our own community, but people come into our community and they get us hook, line, and sinker. We come in and we give all of the money to them, and they go back and live like a fat rat on a piece of cheese, enjoying the fruits of your labor, enjoying your money because they go to the black community. Because they say black community will buy anything and everything. And what do you want to get rich? Go to the black community. You're gonna take this sheet off of the people that look like us. Yes, I said sheep because they are no better than the people who denied us, but now they're using the same tactics that against us. I'm Jenny Bernard. You're listening to Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. The number is 901-288-5779. What are you going to do? Are you going to continue to allow this city hall, county mayor's office, county commissioner, city council, who continue to make bad decisions each and every day that is not benefiting you? They take grant money, as they call it, give it to nonprofit for their loyalty. Now think about this for a minute. If you're a nonprofit and you're giving 1,500,000 or 1,200,000 or 100,000 or 200,000, would you go against the administration that gave you that money? That's what we call buying loyalty, political loyalty. And we say that we give out money to nonprofits. Who is checking the balances on the nonprofits? Do we just give them the tax dollars and just never check and see what they're doing with your tax dollars? It's buying political loyalty. That's what it is. And think about it. Any of those, not one, but two, three of these nonprofits, do you think they would go against the administration that gave them these grants? And some of them are not worthy to even have them, but it's about buying power. The power that be by the power of our leadership office. And the leadership office is being bought by the power that be that got the real money. And then they turn around and take the money and then disperse the money to other organizations for loyalty. And that's all it is, ladies and gentlemen, until you wake up and think about it. Let me ask you this question. Say if somebody was funding your house, paying your bill, giving you money to put in your pocket, would you turn against that person that's doing that in your house? If you did, then I think something would be wrong with you. But here is the point, that they are giving these grants to these nonprofits for loyalty, for the devotion, and for the things that they would do to keep them in office. See, one hand washes the other. The power to be by our leadership. The leadership, in turn, by you, one way or the other. They are playing with you to the guilty, and the dang game is over. They used to say, the Geechee. The day of the Geechee is over. And you can put it over. See, understand, all of these black politicians, they used to call them the Geechees. And the day of the Geechee is over for them to keep manipulating you, your community. And nothing has changed. I would hold my head down in shame if I was an individual that's representing this community and the community is in shambles the way it is. Ladies and gentlemen, wake up. It's time for a change. But you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting, and that is absolutely nothing. See, you got to be able to focus and help to change your situation by studying, to show thyself approved, enough to say enough is enough. We're not going to continue to be manipulated, to be disrespected, to be lied to be cheated. And you've been cheated, and it's right in your face. You've been cheated by way of this last administration in the tune of $77.7 million. And nobody has addressed it. Paul Young hasn't addressed it because he can't. It's basically, in my opinion, it's there to not to address it. It's there to buy hotels that we do not need when people are starving in this community. The government is for the people and by the people. And I think the people should benefit from their tax dollars. And I say all the time, when you don't benefit, you're no more than a prostitute being out on the corner working and giving the money to the pimp. And who is the pimp? The political pimp who are pimping you out of your tax dollars. You are the prostitute, political prostitute that's on the corner giving your tax dollars to them to do what they want to do and giving you nothing in return. Think about it. And I have to keep saying this because this comes to me from time to time, over and over again. You buy a hotel, you put $250 million. The Carlyle Group ends up with the hotel. You the one initially bought the hotel. Why didn't you keep the hotel? And if you didn't keep it, why would you buy it? It's called political pimping. And you are the political prostitute. You giving the money. And they doing what they want with it and doing nothing in return. What a shame. How pitiful we are in this community that we call Memphis. Somewhere, sometime, and I say to you, the time is now, right now, for you to wake up and make a difference in this community. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I don't care who it is. I will go on the show and say the same thing that I'm saying to you now. I would say to any political organization. I would say to any news media, channel 3, 5, 13, 24, or 30. What I say to you here, I would say to you that this city is the most violent city in America, which you already know. The political pimps are pimping this city and pimping the people who live in this city, and we are no more than prostitutes that's turning and working every day, getting the money, turning it over to these so-called leaders, and they do what they want to do because they've been bought and paid for in this community. We need to wipe them all out. And if we don't wipe them all out, we need to get a majority enough that they would understand that the day of the Geechee, the day of these individuals, the day of the Negro is over. And you can prove that that day is over when you go to the polls and make that difference. Ladies and gentlemen, you get tired. When you look at you really care, you get tired. But if you don't care, it don't bother you. You just go along and do what you do. and you go along doing what you're doing. And I used to saw it for 28 years as a probation company owner. I saw it as a deputy sheriff for over 20 years. I saw how you show that you don't care. Because when I walked into the courtroom was full on any given day. Go in the courtroom and see who are the majority of people in the courtroom doing what they're doing. Some are doing that because they're trying to make ends meet. Others are just doing it because that's just within them. I call it larceny within their heart. You're going to have people like that. You can give them a job making good money, but they don't want to punch nobody's clock. You're going to have those type of individuals. And they're going to end up in no courtroom like I saw for so many years. Sometimes you can help them, and sometimes you can't. And that's why they build jail. That's why they want to build a new jail. They just want to build a jail. They want to build a jail to put the people who decide they don't want to do anything right. They want to do it wrong, and they're sitting there in those courtrooms because they didn't want to do the right thing. And I say to you, take control of your home. You are the king. You are the queen of your castle. And you deserve the right to rule your castle and the people who dwell within that castle that we call home. You have that right to make sure that they do the right thing if they're living under that roof. And ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is your opportunity to do it. And if you do not do it, it's on you. It's on you. You sit back, you listen to what I say and what I'm telling to you because I'm in the position to sit here and talk to you. I'm a messenger that's trying to give you the message. But people will tell you, oh, don't listen to him. Because if you listen to him, you may learn something. And then we as political leaders may be in trouble. Wipe them out of office. Get rid of them. Because they're selling you out. And you know they're selling you out. Why do people give millions of dollars to black politicians? Why? Because we are the majority and they go out and handpick the Negro, the slave, the political slave. They get them to do their bidding. And that's what you have in the city of Memphis. You don't have real representatives in this city. You have overseers, and they just overseeing you for the powers that be. When will you wake up? When will you wake up and start holding this political junk that we have in office? When will you hold them accountable? I'm Jennings Bernard. You've been listening to Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. Well, I'm thankful and grateful that I've held this software, have held it for 30 minutes. And sometimes you just get frustrated when you look at this thing and this situation in this community. And sometimes you want to throw your hands up and just say, to hell with it. They deserve what they get. But something deep down within, when that devil is trying to convince you to stop saying what you're saying, or those devils who come to you and say, hey, we want you to do this and we want you to do that. But if it don't sound right to me, I'm man enough and I'm strong enough to say, hey, I'm the wrong one. You need to find somebody else. And those things will happen to me, but I'm not bending over for people to ride my back. My back is straight, and you can't ride it. You can't persuade me to do things against my people. That will never happen because of the way I was raised and the way I was taught to do things the right way. I'm just sharing truth and knowledge. It's up to you to accept it or not to accept it. It's on you. So let's rise up in this election cycle. Come this month, we will find out who's going to withdraw and who's going to stay in. Are doing what and always, in the words of my grandmother, she always said, if it's the Lord's will and the creek don't rise, we will see you on tomorrow, and we're going to talk some more about situations in this community. And one situation that we don't need to allow those school board members that you need to call them and let them know that you don't need to get Dr. Roger Richford a contract because to me, he's that proverbial snake in the grass. He's the backstabber. You know it, I know it, and I'm going to continue to talk about situations like him, in my opinion, and others who are not doing the right thing, but just enjoying the position and making money that you just desire or wish that you could have. In the words of my grandmother, she said, if it's the Lord's will and the creek don't rise, we'll see you on tomorrow. But remember what I said. Trust everyone, but do not trust the devil inside of them. God bless. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow while we tip on some more things that you need to know about. Take care. Have a good night.